6 NFL plays in 60 seconds. In this video, I have 6 NFL props for Sunday slate, week 15. Then I have 60 seconds to explain each of them and try to get you guys to bet on them. But I'm going to be honest with you, some of them won't even require 60 seconds because that's how confident I am in them. But let's begin with our first one. James Conner, under 3.5 receptions, minus 130 on Bet365. I'd play this to minus 150. This is a 1-unit play. I'd argue this might be my favorite under we've kind of taken this season. Now, I could put more units on it, but again, I already have a 2-unit play we're about to talk about next. Let's talk about James Conner. Start my timer. So far, Conner, if you're looking at his receptions line, he's had 4 or more receptions, actually in 3 of his last 4. But let's look at the teams he went over against. The Jets a few weeks ago, about a month ago. The Seahawks twice, and then the Vikings. We think about the Jets and Seahawks. They both have really good secondaries. Now, the Jets secondary, you can say, hasn't been as great, but about a month ago, it was pretty good. Vikings, he got 3 receptions on them, and they blitz a ton. Now he gets his worst matchup in terms of receiving out of the backfield. You look at this season, the Patriots have allowed the 4th fewest receptions to running backs in the NFL. In fact, only 2 running backs have had 4 or more receptions against them. I think they were Breece Hall and Zach Charbonnet all the way back in September. Since week 4, not a single running back has had 4 or more receptions. That includes guys like Devon Achane, who he gets like 6 receptions every week. He didn't even get 4 against them. Not to mention the Cardinals have lost 3 in a row. Now they're 6.5-point favorites at home. If they're able to put the pedal to the metal, get a big lead here, I don't see Conner getting a ton of work. He also doesn't play in the 2-minute drill. So again, I really like this one under 3.5 receptions. You could take the yards, but sometimes one screen play, he could go up the field for 40 yards. He's done that before. So I'd rather the receptions at 3.5. Hopefully it's not terrible value for you. Minus 130, I'll take a stab. Like I said, I've played up to about minus 150. I really like James Conner's under in receptions. My next play. And first, I want to talk about something. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Do me a favor, like and subscribe if you are new. There's a bunch of other sportsbook sign-up bonuses and stuff down below. I always talk about that stuff. I wanted to dive into the picks because I mean business today. But we have a bunch of other NFL videos. We posted one earlier on Saturday, posted one on Friday. Might even have one tomorrow morning. But either way, let's dive into our 2-unit, 4-leg Lions SGP of the week. Here it is. It is going to be a 4-legger in that Bills and Lions game. Minus 123 on FanDuel. Now, I understand there's going to be people that be like, Austin, 2 units at minus 123, 4 legs. It doesn't make sense. Look, you don't have to tail it. But you guys know, if you've been watching the channel, Lions same game parlays, just involving their games, have printed for us. This season, not as great as last year when we were 10-1 on them, but still overwhelmingly positive. And this is arguably the most confident Lions SGP I've been on in probably the last year. I really, really like this one. And if you look at the legs, it's Amon-Ra St. Brown for 40 receiving yards, Jahmyr Gibbs for 40 rush yards, David Montgomery for 25 rush yards, and Khalil Shakir of the Bills, 25 receiving yards. Again, 2 units on this at minus 123. I think it's a certified winner. I'll talk about why. Now, St. Brown will begin with him. He has 40 receiving yards in 10 of his last 12. He did get this in 18 of 19 last year, 40 plus in 6 straight. He's had some games where he hasn't looked great. This is the best matchup I think he'll see so far this season. The Bills secondary has struggled. They also play a lot of too high coverage. So they're trying to take away the deep passes, which I think most notably affects guys like Jameson Williams. Not a guy like Amon-Ra St. Brown who lives underneath. We just saw what Puka Nacua did to him. We saw what Cooper Kupp did to him too. He should be able to get 40 yards. As for Gibbs and Montgomery, Gibbs is 40 plus in all 13 this season. And then you look at Montgomery, 25 rush yards in all 13. These guys are workhorses. I don't think the Bills can stop them. And then finally, Khalil Shakir, 25 receiving yards in 11 of 12. His only miss was 38% of snaps. That ain't happening in Detroit so far this season. 2nd most receiving yards per game, 5th most fantasy points to slot receiver. So while we don't play fantasy, they're getting torched by the slot. I think this is a terrific spot to back all 4 of these fellas. So again, I don't do a lot of 2-unit plays. I don't know what our record is on them. I think we're 3-1 on them this season or 2-1. Haven't had a ton. I love this one. I think this is a winner. So I will put 2 units on this 4-leg SGP. I think it's a winner. I wanted to get better value. If there was a way for me to get better value, I was going to take Montgomery also in there for 40 rushing and receiving yards. I just didn't want to get cute trying to take it from minus 123 to like minus 111 or minus 109. Like at the end of the day, that's a little bit of a difference, but not worth it. I think he gets to 25 rush yards easily. I also like them out of the backfield. That's our 2-unit Lions SGP of the week. We have another player prop. let's dive into it. And this one you guys are going to love. It's Patrick Mahomes under 24.5 completions, minus 125 on Bet365. Now, if you're looking at this prop, I'd play it down to 23.5. He has ended on 24 once this season, maybe twice. So these lines can be pretty sharp. I don't actually think I think he gets in the low 20s, 20 to 22. I really like this prop to fade Patrick Mahomes. Now, obviously, let's just start my timer now. Mahomes is under this line in only 6 of 13, so not the best hit rate. But Sunday, he gets arguably his toughest test against the Browns, who this season have allowed the fewest completions and the third lowest completion percentage in the NFL. Look, I get it's Mahomes, and he's much different than any other QB. They don't have a very explosive offense, so he's throwing it a ton. But I just don't see this as the best matchup for him. And while they have been pretty pass happy, their pass blocking has not been good at all. So we look at guys on the side, on the edge coming around. Myles Garrett. Yeah, I don't think I'd want to be passing over and over. And while sure you could be like, they'll just throw short. I still don't know if I'd want to do that against Myles Garrett in this pass rush. So I actually expect them to lean on the run a little bit here. We've seen 13 QBs to face the Browns. Only 4 of them actually had 20 completions or more. All 13 are under this line. I just think this is a tough spot. Sure, Mahomes has faced some great matchups recently. Buffalo, Carolina, Las Vegas, the Chargers. I don't like this matchup at all for him, so I will fade him. I'll take the under. I'm not taking under in yards or taking an under in pass attempts because he could still chuck it 40 times. But again, I just don't see him having a very efficient day here. I think the Browns keep this one close. And I also forgot to note, it could be a pretty rainy game as well. And we always know Cleveland always has the wind swirling around. It's why it's hard to make field goals there. But also, it could be a pretty rainy game. We already saw one rainy game on Thursday in that Rams 49ers game. I like this under here for Patrick Mahomes at 24.5 completions. Go complete a deep one to Xavier Worthy for the first time in like 9 years. But I really like this under completions. My next 3 plays are all going to be half units. I just hit my microphone. All half unit plays, so nothing, too crazy. I honestly probably don't even need the 60 seconds for all of these. In fact, the first 2, I won't even need it. Last one, we'll save it, and we'll do 60 seconds there. But the first one, Justin Herbert, under 0.5 interceptions, minus 120 on BetMGM, just a half unit play. Like I said, I don't need to start the timer here because I don't need a lot of time. Herbert, 1 interception this season. He, in fact, is on pace. He has thrown 335 straight passes without an interception. The record is 402 by Aaron Rodgers. I mean, if he throws a pick this week, I'm sorry, Chargers fans. I might have jinxed him. But again, I got to get involved here, especially in a good matchup against the Buccaneers, who have only seen 4 QBs throw a pick against them, and they were Spencer Rattler, Jared Goff, Aiden O'Connell, and Kirk Cousins. Look, Herbert has protected the ball pretty well. They're favored here at home. 6 interceptable passes for Herbert this season. He's been a stud. If the streak continues this week, next week he faces the Broncos, which I don't think is a good test, a good matchup for him. I'll be back on it. We've had a good track record with under and picks. Justin Herbert this week's. Speaking of under and interceptions, let's move to another one. It is Bo Nix, under 0.5 interceptions, plus money, plus 105 on ESPN Bet. Nix, a lot of people were on his under and interceptions prior to the bye week last week. He threw 2. Now, one of them wasn't really his fault. It was ricocheted off, I think, his receiver's helmet, and the Browns caught it. The other was him trying to get reckless and threw a deep ball, trying to keep up with Jameis Winston, who was tracking deep balls over there. Like I said, I don't need the 60 seconds here. In Nix's last 11 games, he's only thrown 4 interceptions. He's under this in 8 of his last 11. And this season, the Colts, only 6 QBs have thrown an interception against them. The Colts defense has been better recently, but I just don't see Bo Nix putting one in harm's way. He's not going to force it down the field. He will take it and run if he has to. I just don't think he's throwing a pick. It's just a half unit play, so not like going out on a limb here and putting 10 units on an under an interception. But I do think Bo Nix does not throw an interception. You can parlay it with Justin Herbert. And heck, you can parlay it with my third one, which is another half unit play, another under an interceptions. That is Kyler Murray of the Arizona Cardinals, under 0.5 interceptions, minus 130 on Bet365. Sticking to a half unit here. Sure, a lot of under an interception plays this week. They've actually been one of our most profitable markets. The problem is we've only been playing them for half units. Now you can be like, Austin, why don't you up them to 1 unit? Because I know the moment I do that, they're going to all start losing. So, hey, if they're still making us money at half units, we'll keep the thing rolling. And we'll stick with the Kyler Murray here at under half an interception. Let's hope Murray, Nix, and Herbert all don't throw a pick. If you want to throw this in a parlay, probably get like plus 600 odds or something decent. I'll start my timer for Kyler. He has thrown an interception in 3 straight games, versus Seattle twice and versus Minnesota. Prior to that, though, he was under in 7 of 10. He's obviously faced some tougher defenses recently. I don't think this is a tough defense. He faces the Patriots. We already talked the Patriots defense earlier with James Conner. The Cardinals, as I already talked about, are 6.5-point favorites. And the Patriots secondary, outside of Christian Gonzalez, has been pretty bad. In fact, in 7 road games, they have 2 interceptions. Mason Rudolph, who is a backup, and Brock Purdy. So I look at this, Kyler Murray, he's coming off 3 straight games where he's attempted over 35 or more passes. Now you see his pass attempts line set to 30.5. I think they're able to run the ball, and I think Kyler's able to complete some easy play action passes to his wide receivers and tight ends like Trey McBride. Kyler Murray has thrown no interceptions in 6 of 9 this season when he hasn't thrown 35 or more. Obviously, the less pass attempts, the less risk here. And I think they use the play action. They run the ground game. I don't think he's throwing an interception here. So those 3 guys, I really like them to not throw a pick. Kyler Murray, Bo Nix, and Justin Herbert. If I had to rank them in odds of how much I like them, I'd probably put Herbert, then I'd probably put Kyler, and then I'd put Bo Nix. But Bo Nix, obviously, that's not a surprise. He's the one with the best odds at plus 105. So those are my 6 props in there. I think we got a good chance at sweep in this video. There is a chance for one more play. I don't know if I'll do a Sunday video for it, but it does involve a guy in our earlier video on Saturday, my 1.5 unit play. It is A.J. Brown. I encourage you to check it out. It is linked on the screen. The play I'm looking at is a half unit on A.J. Brown to record a reception on the Eagles' first drive. It should be plus money, hopefully decent plus money. We'll see what it is. We probably won't get a line till Sunday. So maybe if it is live already, and we'll have already sent it out. If it's bad value, I'm not taking it. But hopefully it's some good plus money, and we can do a half unit on that. Those are my favorite picks. I encourage you to go check out the other 2 videos. The first one includes our anytime touchdown parlay, 3 more player props. Go watch that. The other one includes all of our thoughts on money lines, spreads, totals, in case that's what you're interested in. What I feel, I talk through every single game. I encourage you to go watch it. I've had a pretty good track record betting every single game this season. Not on the props, but it is what it is. Let's have a good week. Let's have a great Sunday. And I'll see you guys on Monday with 2 Monday Night Football videos. See you then. Peace.